let's see if we can capture one of these points, but the third time is the charm here. Streamlabs is being silly, and I don't know, Battlefield is being goofy with Streamlabs. So, but however, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is the Animator Man, and I have returned briefly to my microscopic dormant YouTube channel here on the small corner of the internet. I've been animating pretty much day in and day out, and for once, it is time to kick back, relax, and chat about Battlefield 2042. So do you need a ride? You want to get in? Oh, to your left, to your right. Wow, okay, yeah, just to keep it a heads up here, my internet connection with 2042 is subpar. Sir, can I get a revive? Hey, if it's not too inconvenient there, pal, can I, okay, we're just gonna respawn. Okay, let's spawn here, let's work our way towards C1, C2. I wanted to talk about a few topics that revolve around Battlefield and EA. But first off, when it comes to picking classes, I'm honestly that gamer that just prefers to use whatever weapon I feel like. When it comes to firepower, that is really cool, cinematic moment there. When it comes to firepower, I base it off of feeling and just straight fun. Can we get him? Can we get him? Can we get him? Oh, he's toast. He's done. He's done for. No! We were close. We were close. Okay, give me some credit there. But when it comes to picking classes, I tend to just use whatever. I tend to steer clear of the meta weapons, to be honest with you. Using the same weapon day in, day out just because it is like what everybody uses is kind of boring, and I feel like that's a fast track to burnout. Rather than just using what you can enjoy, whether it's like a piece of shit or it's like a really good weapon, you know? It just use whatever you want, to be honest. Screw the YouTube videos, you know, those are, don't watch those meta YouTube videos, okay? Listen, okay, I'm not trying to say don't watch them, but use whatever you want, all right? Don't have anybody tell you what to do. Okay. Like this gun, the AEK 971, this one's been my go-to these last 3 sessions. Okay, on the topic of map design now. The map design in 2042 in the early stages, as many of you guys know, has been lacking just foliage objects and just overall detail, whether it's like cover, trees, just not having like a flat plane and calling it a map, essentially. But now that Battlefield 2042 is nearing the end of its life cycle, I think the devs have narrowed in some of the map design near the end of the cycle. Is that a good thing? No. But at least we have some maps that I feel have some thought put into them. And hey, can I get a ride? Thank you. And that aren't just, and they're not just lacking inspiration. I think these past couple of maps that they've released have some inspiration. But when the game first launched, it was a disaster because I think they just clicked to wherever and whenever and said, hey, this is a map. And the executives were like, yeah, that's good. Let's ship it. It's good. And then, of course, with the Battlefield community has some backlash. They're like, what are you guys talking about? This map's pretty okay in terms of map design. I'm no developer, but I can speak from a gamer's perspective. I don't know the ins and outs of map design or the technicalities, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out that if the map is good or if the map is bad. This one's cool, like I said. There's another map. I think it's Returnal. I really like Returnal. I think that's one of the maps that released after Battlefield 2042's launch. That's been a fun one. I like the one with the desert on one side and the grassland on the other. As a Battlefield enjoyer, I forgot the name of that one. Sorry. But we could call it like the ice cream sandwich, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the name of that map, but maybe somebody could tell me down in the comments. Let's see. But let's hope In Battlefield 6, the map design is vastly improved and doesn't have a rough start because I believe with every single Battlefield launch, there's been some sort of technicality or some sort of issue that has been causing gamers to not have the best experience. And let's hope that with this new Battlefield 6, all these playtests, it irons that out. We don't have that at launch. And that's a cool cinematic moment. Wow, look at that. Let's see if we could get over to C1, like I said at the beginning of this. Oh my god. I can't even... Yeah, my connection is so bad right now. My gun is firing in what seems like slow motion. That's a cinematic moment. Nothing like plowing your jet into the ground. Let's go. Push to C1, C2. This is the closest we've got this session, ladies and gentlemen, to this objective.
American forces will take every sector if they are not stopped.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get in there, boys. Let's show them what kind of gamers we are. Nope. Clearly, I'm not a good one. Okay. Instead of going to C1 or C2, let's go to A2 and let's talk about operators now for the next topic. Let's see if we can get this kill, though. Let's get some points on the board before we segue. Okay, he's dead. Get some points here. But I think as where I stand with the operators overall is honestly, it would probably be in EA's best interest just to revert back to, I guess we can call the legacy system at this point, since based off Battlefield 6 news, it looks like this operator system is going to be the new title. And to be honest with you, I think the legacy, we could call it. Oh my god, there's people there. There was too many. They didn't like the operator discussion. Okay, let's see if we could head over to A2 and clear it out while we discuss this operator thing. But I think with the legacy operator, see, oh my gosh, see, Battlefield's trying to trick me into thinking operators are great. Kidding. But I think with the older legacy system that just everything flowed better. In terms of like just overall gameplay and stuff, because if you were playing Recon, I don't know where that guy is, but there's a tornado. But if you were Recon class, you're using a sniper rifle. If you were a machine gunner, you were able to resupply people. If you were a medic, you had to revive people, and so on and so forth. But with the operator class, you kind of just gave everybody the opportunity to use whatever they want, any class that they decide. So it kind of just removed that Battlefield feeling and that balance almost, I guess you can say. So somebody in here. Okay, see, my connection is bad. It is terrible. Okay, maybe I'm just a bad gamer, but my connection too is bad. But I think with the legacy system, it just would benefit far better than this operator system. But I could be wrong. Maybe we just need to get used to the operator system. You know, things change with time, and maybe it's just time for Battlefield to try something new. You know, we'll see. We'll see. But on the topic of operators, still, I do, however, like using a wide variety of the operators. Occasionally, I guess you could say I have a preference, and that's just based off of feeling and fun, to be honest with you guys. Right now, in this little video here, I'm using Pyac. Oh look, am I dead or am I alive? I don't know. My internet connection is so bad. There is one thing that they should really get rid of in the game, and that is these gimmicks, these tornadoes. They were cool in the first 5 matches when the game released, but after that, they're just a nuisance at this point. I guess it helped them sell the game in the beginning, but now it's just boring. It just has no effect. There's too many tornadoes. Okay. But I am using Pyac, and she's been fun because you could scan through the walls like this, and it's almost like you have a cheat code, but a legal cheat code. You can see this guy down here. Okay, we died, but we still saw him. But we died. because I'm bad. Let's try to take over B1 while we segue into the next thing, which is Battlefield game modes. We all know Battlefield is known for Conquest, Rush. And oh my god, why is it so bad? I don't know why my connection. Okay. All right, silly goose. Yeah. Oh my god, people are kind of ruthless sometimes, but it is what it is. It's the nature of the internet, hey? But anyways, let's talk about Battlefield game modes. They have the Conquest, we have the Rush, then we have Breakthrough, and we have the Frontlines, I believe it was. In terms of my favorite all-time game mode, I would have to say it would be Conquest, because I honestly don't know what happened there. I thought I killed him, but my internet said otherwise. It looks like C1 has some problems. Let's go fix them, shall we? But all-time game mode, I would have to say Conquest, because it offers that infantry-based combat and that vehicular combat. So if you're bored of one, you can go to the other. And it suits a lot of different play styles, depending on how you like to play. And it's honestly up to you, to be honest. You could do close quarters. You could get right close up and personal with the gamers, or you could be back with a sniper rifle, just sipping on tea and taking out gamers if you wanted to. So it suits a lot of different personalities and play styles, which I think is really cool compared to the other game modes. So sometimes, you know, I like jumping into the chaos, and other times I just like hanging back and chatting like we are here. So Conquest offers that, and that is why Conquest is one of my favorite game modes in Battlefield. And let's see if we could capture C2 and actually get a kill with my subpar internet connection. Let's see, let's sneak around the backside here. And we did not. We failed. All right, next. I blame the connection on the Florida crocodiles and the crackheads. Maybe they're eating the internet line. I think they're eating the fiber line. But anyways, let's segue. While we defend it, while we try to defend this objective, let's talk about Battlefield titles and what my favorite Battlefield title is, okay? What's your favorite title? Do you like 4? Do you like 3? Do you like 2? Do you like 1? Do you like 1942? There's so many titles to choose from. Do you like Hardline? I believe Hardline was a really underrated Battlefield game. I know when it came out, it did have some controversy because it didn't follow the typical Battlefield theme. It was more cops and robbers than it was military. But for me personally, I would have to say my all-time favorite is between Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. Bad Company 2 was, oh my god, cinematic moment. That guy almost crashed into the ground with a multi-million-dollar jet. But I have to be Bad Company 2 or 3, just because Bad Company 2 was my first Battlefield title, and then Battlefield 3 was my second one. But I seemed to have a lot more fun on 3 than I did with 2, only because at the time it seemed it was revolutionary with their 12v12 on PlayStation. A total of 24 gamers in one lobby going at it was insane back then, and my communication device of choice was a cheap Jabra Bluetooth headset at CVS. Let's charge over to B1 and Battlefield. Honestly, Battlefield 3 is my favorite as well because I've had a lot of crazy memories on that game when I was younger. I used to play that game so much. I believe I was level 50 Colonel, and that for me was like a crazy, monumental gamer moment, personally. And my favorite weapon of choice for all the Battlefield gamers that are watching, all the Battlefield enjoyers, you might remember the USAS-12 with frag rounds. Now that thing was diabolical once you strapped on the frag rounds on that thing. Now, once you put those on, you were an absolute demon. I used to play close quarters combat, and I was that rat with the USAS-12 with frag rounds, just scooping up kills down all like the tight corridors, just farming all the XP that I could possibly get. I would rank up so fast from that. Oh look, we're capturing B1. Let's go. But that was such a good weapon. I love that, and I think it was the M1A1. That was pretty good, but the frag rounds was hard to beat. You put those on while you're playing Operation Metro, and you're just gonna scoop up so much experience. Let's see if we can capture B1 here. Oh, we're doing it. We're actually getting points. God bless my internet. No, I spoke too soon. I was gonna say God bless my internet, and there's 2 enemies that walk down the hallway and just blast me. I believe we should end with some cinematic music. So that about wraps up this episode. If you did enjoy this, feel free to come back to the next episode that'll upload shortly. And I mean shortly, and when I mean that, I mean I don't know when. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next episode. Where's the jet that's supposed to crush me now? Look, cinematic moment. Look at that. That's cool. See you next time. I'm going to go try and capture C1 and C2.